Save the cheerleader, save the world. Again. Hey, it's Katie, and on Saturday, NBC announced that they are bringing back Heroes as a 13-episode miniseries in 2015. And this is very, very interesting news. I loved Heroes. I especially loved the first 3 seasons. I thought that they were awesome. I was hooked. I was obsessed with the show. Loved Heroes. I loved the actors. I loved the characters. Pretty much everything about it was awesome. The problem is, for me, as the show kept going and in its final season, it just was not the show it used to be. It was a little bit lackluster, wasn't as good, and I'm sorry for those of you out there who loved the finale and loved the last season. I'm sorry if you liked it, but for me, I was such a big fan of the first couple seasons that the last season was just not the same for me. I don't know if it was because they just kept adding more characters, more heroes, more villains, or the fact that the story kind of got a little complex and maybe too complicated. I don't know why, but I just really loved the first few seasons and didn't really like the last few seasons. But the show as a whole was a great show. Now they're bringing it back to do a 13-episode miniseries for next year. I don't know how I feel about this. They haven't announced yet if any of the original actors are going to be in this new miniseries. I hope they are, because they're some of the characters that I loved. At the same time, it could be really cool to take the concept of Heroes and kind of recreate it. We don't exactly really know what it's going to be yet, which is kind of exciting and fun. I just hope it's good. That's all I want. I loved Heroes, I loved the concept, but I really loved the actors and the characters, so I'm not sure if they just take new characters and do the same sort of concept, if I will like it the same. I mean, I don't know. We'll see, which is very exciting. But for me, I'm like, come on, NBC. If you're gonna bring back any show to do a mini-series, well, Heroes would be a good one, okay, fine. But can't you bring back Chuck? Chuck is the best show, and it would be so great to have more Chuck, and you should bring that back as just a series in general. And speaking of Chuck, I kind of heard a rumor that they might be making it into a movie or maybe another series. So hopefully that happens, because I love Chuck and I want it to come back. I want more Chuck. But this news about Heroes is very exciting. But at the same time, I'm like, are networks that desperate and can't come up with the original content that they have to keep rebooting shows and making miniseries? Like, I'm just a little confused about that. At the same time, I'm stoked because I always liked Heroes, and I'm excited to see what they're gonna do with this. And honestly, for me, I think the issue with Heroes was the fact that they had this great idea, and just, it's so hard to just keep going and going and going with that great idea. Kind of like Lost. It was like amazing, and then it was like, where are you going with this? You don't even know where you're going with this. So I think it was kind of the same with Heroes, where they had this amazing idea and it just kept going and going and going. And so the great thing about a miniseries is that they're gonna have this great idea, it's gonna play out, and it's gonna end. So it's gonna be like a long movie, which could be really, really cool. But I wanna hear from you. What do you think about Heroes coming back as a miniseries in 2015? Do you think it's gonna be good, bad? Will they have the same characters? Let me know in the comments below. Also, if you could reboot one show into a miniseries ever, any show that's ever existed, what would it be? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.